Hello and welcome to episode 82 of the DX Mentor, a discussion with Pia, DL7PIA, about her journey and her many accomplishments in ham radio. I'm Bill, AJ8B. Pia has become an accomplished DXer, contester, POTA activator, and CWOPs member, all before her 18th birthday. Her enthusiasm is contagious, as you're about to find out. In addition to Pia, Joe, WAGEX, will be with us. If this is the first time you're joining us, welcome. We have a back catalog covering many aspects of DX in both podcast and YouTube format. Please check us out. If you like what you find, please subscribe, like, and share to always be notified about upcoming events. Another way to keep in touch and to see what we're up to is via the DX Mentor Facebook page. I will be posting about upcoming podcasts as well as other DX events, so please follow us so you don't miss out. I received the following from Nate, N8BTR. Bill, I'm just completing my second year on HF, primarily on FT8, and I've learned a lot from the DX Mentor podcast. I wanted to say thank you for making the quote, This Week in DX videos now an audio podcast as well. I appreciate it. I can listen while I'm commuting or working. Also, because of the above, thank you for the tip about more DX being available before the Worldwide Single Sideband, CQ Worldwide Single Sideband contest. I was able to work two all-time new ones in the past week and fill several band slots as I was paying attention and looking for more new-to-me DXCCs. Thanks again for the work you do. Well, gee, Nate, thank you for the kind words. Joe and I are always glad to be of assistance, and it's kind of a best-kept secret that the week before and the week after a major contest is ripe for DX. And I've also noticed that after the contest, typically the work bands are where some of these guys that have traveled a long distance where they hang out. So, without any further delay, let's get started. Well, good morning and welcome to the DX Mentor podcast. And Joe and I are very excited today. Wait till you meet our guest. She's terrific, and we're really looking forward to spending some time with her. I'm Bill, AJ8B, and as always, I have Joe, WAGEX. So, Joe, say good morning.
Well, good morning and welcome to our podcast. Like Bill said, we're really looking forward to this. And I guess to get started, well, most people know Bill and I, but for those that is just tuning in, I got started back when I was a teenager. I was a SWO for many years. My uncle was my Elmer, and then he and I both were SWLs, and we both got all the exams together and came up through the ranks. And unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 90 several years ago. But he was a great inspiration for me to be here today, be a DXer and a DXpeditioner. So tell us how you got started.
Yeah, so today we have Pia, DL7PIA, and she was recommended to me by Mark, WC3W, who is the DX marathon guru. So, Pia, how did you get started?
Yeah, I my uncle Rhino Delta Hotel 3 Sierra Bravo Bravo is already a licensed radio amateur for over 35 years. And he often took his radio with him when we were together outside in the mountains or during trips we made together. And yeah, I found it very fascinating and interesting from the very first moment on. And so I was curious and wanted to know everything about amateur radio. And yeah, the only problem was then that I was not allowed to make any QSOs because I had no license at this time. And yeah, then one day my uncle surprised me. He applied for an educational call sign, and yeah, then I was able to make my first QSOs, and that was a very special moment for me.
So, is the you learned Morse code at like 4 or 5? Was that before the instructional license? Did you just do it because it seemed neat, or?
No, with yeah, at the age of 5, yeah, that was the first time I got in contact with something belonging to amateur radio. I saw a documentary on television about Samuel Finlay B. Morse, his life and the Morse code. And that was already so fascinating and interesting for me. And yeah, then I said to a family member, asked if someone can write down for me the whole Morse code.
Wow.
And yeah, then I started to order things in Morse code from my mom. And yeah, for example, one thing I ordered was a did it. That's the German word for ice cream.
Oh.
Yeah, and first she didn't know what I wanted from her with ordering the ice cream in Morse code, and so then she had to learn the code to understand me.
Now she's also licensed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Um,
Yeah, and like I said, I made then my first QSO with the educational call sign, and that was a big surprise for me when he said to me, "You're allowed now also to operate under my supervision here on the bands." And yeah, at this point, it was 100% sure for me that I want to make the license as soon as possible. And so, yeah, I started to prepare for the exam, and then I passed my amateur radio license in July 2019 at the age of 12.
yes.
Ah.
So
So,
the learner's license really sounds intriguing to me. Can you tell us about that?
yeah.
Yes, sure. At that time in Germany, it was possible to apply for an educational call sign for licensed, so licensed ham radio operators could apply for it. And then not licensed persons can operate and on the bands under the supervision of the licensed radio amateurs um, who applied for the call sign. And so you can also experience all the exciting things in amateur radio by yourself, and learn the things, not only theoreticals, but in the real,
The real world sense of it then.
yeah, exactly. And at this time when I made my license, we had a different system than now. There were two license classes at this time. One was the so-called beginner license here, and the extra class license.
Okay.
And I wanted to do the extra class license direct without the other license before, because I wanted to operate on all bands without any restrictions.
Sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, now it is not longer possible to apply for such an educational call sign. Now we have in Germany a different system, a little bit like your system in the USA, with free license classes, with the technician general and extra class. And instead of the educational call signs, we can use now behind our normal call signs a /T for trainee.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Oh,
Very good. Boy, I really like the sound of the educational license. That sounds like that would have been very interesting for people.
yes.
Wow.
So
Um,
you took the exam at the age of 12. So did you have any other friends that went in with you to be tested?
Yeah, I I decided then to pass to make the license as soon as possible, and I did the exam together with my mom,
Oh,
because yeah, when I told my parents that I want to make the license, I inspired also my mom to make it. She's now Delta Lima 5 Papa India Alpha, only the numbers are different in our call signs. And yeah, she wanted to make the license already earlier at the age of 18. But yeah, due to several reasons, it was not possible at this time. And so then she said, then I will do it now also with you together.
Wow.
And so we passed it then together.
Good,
I know a
good.
number of father and son teams, but I don't know too many mother-daughter teams. So
No,
congratulations. Does she
yeah.
operate as much as you do?
Yeah, my mom is also very active on the bands, and we are yeah with two YLs in one house and only one radio in the shack. It's sometimes a little bit difficult, but we are doing then often operations together in company, and that's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
So
yeah, we also had one really great night of the DXing together. We decided to call CQ on the 20-meter band in company. It was, I think, last year, some day in June. And so we started in the later evening hours here. And that was really a magical night for both of us. We had many QSOs in this night with the USA and also stations from Mexico, Brazil, and other DX countries. And so that we had QSOs the whole night through till the morning hours, and that was really special for us because it was with our homemade quad loop antenna on 20 meters. Yeah, with the Yaesu FT991A and 100 watts. So yeah, and then in the next morning, my dad stood up, came down to the shack, and he looked at us, asked us if we hadn't slept so far, what we hadn't, and so my mom and I looked at each other and started to laugh, and my father also had to laugh. Then that was really a special experience we had together, and
that's
Yes.
great. That's
Yeah.
really great.
Great.
I can remember, and of course you wouldn't, but around 1976, 77. So I was in my last 2 years of high school, and I used to chase something called Russian oblasts. I think oblasts are still around, but since the Soviet Union broke up, they're not as big a deal anymore. But at that solar cycle, 20 meters would stay open until 3 and 4 in the morning. So there were a number of days where I'd be up till 3 and 3:30 and then go to bed and get up and go to school at, 3 hours later. And finally, I came dragging in and my dad said, "That's enough." He said, "I pulled the plug. You're not on tonight. You got to get some sleep." But you sit down at 11 o'clock and all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock and it just flies by, right? That's what you must
Yeah.
have experienced.
Yeah.
yes, that's true. And then you're sitting in front of the radio, and it's getting the sunrise is already going on outside, and
Yeah.
and you're continuing, and then it's 5, 6 UTC, which is early in the morning here in Germany, and then you stop some time because you need some sleep, but you could always continue to call CQ and
Sure.
would have and having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, a few years from now, it's going to be different. So, you need to work on while you got them.
Yeah. So is your mom as active as you are?
Yes, she is also very active.
Yeah, good, good.
Is she a member of CWOPs? I know you are.
Yes, I'm a member of the CWOPs. Yeah, since yeah February this year, so a relatively new member,
Yep.
and it's really a great organization, the CWOPs, and I'm very happy to be a member of it. My mom is no member of the CWOPs, but she's also doing CW, but her preferred mode is more SSB.
Okay. But you
Yes.
can sponsor her as a member. So, and what is your member number?
Yeah, my member number is 3698.
Wow, 36. I'm 1567, so 3698. I didn't realize it was getting so high. That's terrific. Do
Yeah.
you participate in the weekly CWTs when you can, or the CW Open in September, or
I already participated in some of the CWT,
right?
but yeah, sometimes it's a little bit difficult for me to participate because of the times, and often I have other obligation at these times. But I hope and try to participate more often also in the future, and because it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you have a Yaesu FT991. What antennas do you have? And you also said you like to build antennas. So what do you have and what have you built?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have at home a very simple equipment, very simple station with the Yaesu FT991A and 100 watts, and most of the antennas are homemade. I really like to build and test my own antennas. So
Did you say you had a loop or a quad or something for 20
yeah,
meters?
yeah, for 20 meters, a quad loop. It's a one element loop in the shape of a diamond,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
so.
Wow, very cool. I'm glad to hear all of that. So, and you're
Uh,
also into POTA, and
yes,
some of your POTA pictures, it's like us going to the Rocky Mountains. They were
Yes.
gorgeous. Some of the
Yes, I
places
saw
you've
that.
been. So,
yeah.
what do you like about POTA, and what would you tell others to get people into POTA?
I really love to be outside in the nature and operating portable, and it's really great because you can combine different things you like. For example, hiking, being outside in the nature, and amateur radio. So that's really great. And I always enjoyed to do portable operations outside. It's um yeah, portable. I'm using mostly a Yaesu FT891, also 100 watts, and different homemade antennas, depending on the location,
Right?
because every time you're going to a new place where you haven't been before for activating parks or flora fauna areas, you always get surprised what you will find there. So if you'll find trees, or especially also in the mountains, and so that's always a great experience and totally different than operating at home, because also the um, propagation and everything is different. For example, in the mountains at the specific locations you're going, and
And
my
when you say
my
mountains, you're talking about serious mountains. You're talking about the Alps and some of the based on your pictures, at least some of the higher peaks. And wow, good for you.
Yeah.
yeah, this summer I was in the mountains of Germany, Austria, and also Slovenia, and had really a great time there with a lot of fun and special and moments I will always remember. So for one thing that's really um, a special story. Um, I was in the mountains of Germany, in southern Bavaria, in the Berchtesgadener region. During the day, I visited several places there, and then I watched a sunset in around 1,600 meters above the sea level.
Wow.
And after I activated the park, and that was really a lot of fun. And I stretched the dipole. I could stretch it only 1 meter above the ground because of the local conditions. And yeah, then I started to call CQ. It was already dark. And so this was one of my first POTA night activations in the mountains. And yeah, then suddenly a station called in from Japan.
Wow.
Ah,
And yeah, that was something I would never have expected.
yes.
Wow. So do you do the
Yeah,
night?
and then later, sometime later, another station from Japan called me.
Mhm.
And that was really incredible because yeah, with my homemade dipole there in the mountains, only 1 meter above the ground. And yeah, during my operation, I was looking down to a impressive thunderstorm about 80 kilometers away from me, with really impressive lightnings. I also made some pictures then after my activation. And above me was the clear sky with the Milky Way,
Wow.
all the stars. And yeah, that was also an experience that showed me once again that in amateur radio everything is possible.
Yes.
And also with very, very simple equipment.
Yes.
And um,
So does your excuse me, does your mom and dad go with you on these activations?
yeah, that was during also our summer holidays. And yeah, my father has no amateur radio license. He's not licensed, but he is always supporting me and always interested to hear about what I what I did on the radio. And so
That's great. So he could be your QSL manager.
Yeah. Give him a job. It's
So
it's amazing what you can do with a piece of wire, isn't it?
yeah, that is also one of the things that fascinated me from the beginning on, that you can reach everything with a simple wire and a simple equipment.
Yes. Yes.
you know
That's
the,
true. And I am, yeah, I also think you should try everything out and see what is possible with which antenna. And don't say before you try it, it will not work. Just
Yeah.
try it out.
Yes.
yeah, if it
Yes.
radiates, you're going to work somebody.
Yes.
Well, I've always found it interesting because a person can buy the equipment, hook it up, sit down and operate. And then there's other people that want to understand everything from how does the signal get to the antenna? How does it get converted? How does it come down? How does it go through the receiver? How do you hear it? How does it transmit? You can do somewhere in between. And that's what's kind of fun. Depending on where you're at, what you're doing, you can get more or less involved. So you're doing POTA, you're chasing DX, you got your mom, you're in CWOPs, and all of a sudden you say, hey, I'd really like to try a contest. And out of the blue, and I'm going to look down here, in 2023,
Right.
you won the YOTA contest, correct? Tell us about
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having also fun during participating in different contests from time to time. And yeah, I could already win several worldwide contests like the CWWDXCW in the youth overlay in Europe, and also the YOTA contest, the Youngsters on the Air contest.
Right.
Um, in the YOTA contest, you have 3 rounds each year, 3 contest rounds, and yeah, it was already possible for me to win several rounds of the YOTA contest in my category. So one was in 2021, two in 2023, two in 2024, and also the 2 rounds this year I could win. And the last round will be in December this year. And in 2023, as you said, Bill, I was also the best overall youth operator through all the 3 rounds, single operator.
Well,
So,
congratulations on all
yes,
that.
what advice
Thank
would you
you.
what advice
In
would you give to someone who just wants to get into contesting? What's your secret?
Yeah, for me in contests, it's always cool to see what's possible with my simple equipment and at home, and also to improve my skills and to get new experiences. And yeah, just start to work in a contest and see what's possible and have fun. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
do you spend time running? Do you spend time search and pounce? Are you spending a lot of time looking for multipliers? Do you have any strategy, or you just kind of see how propagation is and how the signals are?
Yeah, in contests, it's so you can't compare one contest with the other because you never know, like you said, how will propagation be. So maybe if 20 meters, for example, is not so good at that day, you have to look on the other bands, and so there you
Yeah.
always have to look what's with the propagation, and you also can learn every time new things and improve your skills and see how the QSO numbers are going. And so
Yeah. So I got some really bad advice when I was a teenager. Um, Basically, I wasn't going to be able to work the whole CQ Worldwide CW, but I think I was at 80 or 90 countries or something at the time. So I was told, hey, just wait till Sunday because all of the big stations have worked what they need, and now they're just working whatever, and maybe Tunisia or somebody will be much easier to pick up on Sunday. So I did that. I ignored everything until Sunday, and then sometime Sunday morning there was a coronal mass ejection, and the bands were dead. So it was like,
uh,
yeah, I'm not going to follow that logic anymore. That didn't make any sense. Joe, did you have a question?
Working while, no, not really, Bill. Working while you can, right,
That's
Bill?
right. That's
Yeah.
right. So let's switch gears. One of my favorite things every year is the CQ marathon, and I like it because, as somebody once told me, it gives you a reason to work Germany every year 10 times, right?
Yeah.
Or England or France or Italy or whatever it is. It isn't just fun DX that counts for something. So how did you get into that? And then do you have a strategy? I mean, you finished well. You were the top youth CQ marathon finisher in Europe. So what was your strategy there, and how exciting was that?
yeah, on your first question, I got in touch with the X Marathon through a QSO I had on the bands. I had a QSO with station from Brazil, a nice QSO. And so I had a look after our QSO on his qrz.com page. And there I saw a picture of a DX marathon plaque, and I was interested to learn more about it and to find out what is behind it. So I did research on the internet, and after that I decided then to take part. And yeah, it's really a lot of fun, especially also for me with the simple equipment to see how many DXCCs are possible in 1 year and how many I'm able to work. So
Yeah, I have tracked mine since 2011. That was and every year I've done a little bit better. So if I can keep doing that, then I'll feel like I've accomplished. And I'm at like 250 right now for which is probably low on your scale, but 250 for this year. And then January 1, it goes back to zero and we all start over again. And and Mark is so passionate and oh my gosh, what a driver he is to try to
Yeah.
keep building the program. And
that's really true. It's the DX Marathon is really a fantastic program, and Mark and the whole team is doing really a fantastic job with all the effort and also then doing new categories and also introducing new things, and that's really a lot of work and a wonderful program. I enjoyed very much to participate, and it's really great that there is a youth category, and for young radio amateurs like me, and so the youth category is now already for some years, and it's also great that there are people like Bill Whiskey 2 Charlie Quebec sponsoring the youth plaque and making it possible to youth operators to receive such a plaque.
yes.
Because without him, I also wouldn't have been able to get my 2DX marathon plaques I could win.
Yeah.
And once you're no longer in the youth category, he's not going to leave you alone. Mark's gonna he's gonna keep pushing you. Okay, the
Yeah.
mid-20s category. That's what we need. Now we need the mid-30s. So he's a good guy and he's so passionate about it. It's hard not to talk to him and get excited.
Yeah.
Um,
He's really got the enthusiasm, hasn't he, Bill?
oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
I wish I had half the passion about anything that he has,
Yeah.
He's a nut.
Yeah.
So one thing you
Yeah.
mentioned, you mentioned the youth and stuff, and over here in the States, there's always a lot of talk about how do we get more youth involved? How do we get more youth involved? So if you were, if you had a chance to make changes or implement programs, what would you do to try to get more young folks involved?
Yeah, one thing is definitely it's important to change how can I say, the imagination of amateur radio many have, because it's not only a technical hobby. It's much more. It's so versatile and so many aspects. You can learn things about other countries, other languages, other cultures, and also about geography, and especially also the conversations and friendships that develop. That's also something very special and unique in amateur radio, because also I, as a young person, wouldn't have friends all over the world without amateur radio. So that's something very special, and it's a unique hobby and not old-fashioned. It's very interesting, and you have all the different aspects. For everyone is something there in amateur radio, with portable operations, contesting, DXing, building antennas, all these things. And I think it's important also to create opportunities for young persons and also other persons where they can make their first steps in amateur radio and experience all these exciting things by themselves, like it's possible with the educational call sign or /T trainee possibility. So that it is not only theoretical anymore. And also one thing I think would be good is to make, for example, regularly camps or something like that for not licensed young people that are interested in amateur radio, because for licensed youth operators there is already the YOTA camp.
Right.
And I think it would be good to also have something like that for not licensed young persons who are interested in amateur radio, and to so that they can build their own antennas and test them outside, for example, during a portable operation or something like that, and to show them what's all possible in amateur radio. And so I think you could get them also interested in that way. And another thing is to offer amateur radio courses for license preparation and such things, because when I made my license, there was in my region there are no such courses already for a longer time. So I did everything by my own without a course. And if you then don't have someone you can ask if you have a question for a specific topic or something like that, like I could ask my uncle, it's also maybe then more difficult. And so I think that would be also something good to make then also it possible to have the opportunity for them to ask questions and to get help and assistance if they need.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I have twins that are, I don't, my son has twins that are almost 13. And every time they're here, I say, hey, next time I see you, I want you to, go, because they love to Google and they love to hang out on the internet and YouTube. And I said, tell me how these signals travel through the air and they hit, I've got a vertical in the side yard, they hit the vertical and they get converted so I can hear it. And whichever of you comes up with the best explanation, I'm sorry, I've got a $2 bill. And it's kind of become a competition. And for the most part, they forget. But then when I remind them, it's like, okay, I did this. I don't know. I'm just trying to find different ways to peak, because one's very curious and the other one isn't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the curious one, who is also majoring in German, by the way. I'm trying to get Declan to really get in, really start asking questions, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I guess we all have to try something, right?
Yeah. So Bill, we really need her to move to Ohio and join our club.
Sounds like it. So have you,
I'm sure I would have a lot of fun with you.
yeah. Yeah, yes, you would.
so have you and your mom talked about going on a DXpedition, maybe the Faroe Islands or Liechtenstein or Guernsey or someplace like that?
Yeah, you were saying Liechtenstein. We were there already.
Okay.
Yes.
But just a few weeks after I passed the license, I had my first portable operation, and that was from the mountains of the Principality of Liechtenstein, HB0 and Oscar Echo. And that was also really a great experience, because I was curious how then everything will work exactly at my first portable operation outside in the mountains, and what will be possible. And there I also had a very special moment. It was one evening in the mountains of the Principality of Liechtenstein. On 40 meters, I stretched a dipole between two trees, and yeah, it was getting already dark, and time to go down, and also to stop the operation, but I wanted to keep calling CQ on 40 meters. There I had a very big pileup from Europe this evening, and yeah, somewhere in between this pileup, I heard suddenly two letters that sounded totally different than all the signals from Europe. And I asked for the two letters. And so I had my very first QSO with Japan this evening.
Yeah.
And he probably needed Liechtenstein, so you helped his DXCC totals. And do you use LOTW or QRZ.com or both, or?
Yeah, I'm also on QRZ.com and LOTW I'm
Okay.
also using. And yeah, about your question with joining a the expedition, I I would really like to be part of the expedition when time permits. I think that would be a wonderful experience. And
Yes.
So do you have university coming up at some time, or what's next for you personally?
yeah, I'm soon finished with and you call it high school.
Yes.
With the last with the I'm soon finished with it, and then I want to go to university and study. Yeah, but there I'm not 100% sure yet what I want to study then, because I'm interested in different things.
Sure.
I'm very interested in things with everything that has to do with astronomy, astrophysics,
Wow.
geophysics, and the weather, glaciers, and such things. Also, I like languages very much, and yeah, my second great passion beside amateur radio is playing music. I'm playing the violin and the piano, so that's also a possibility. So I have to think about it.
Yeah.
Sometime more.
Well, and the good news is you can take time and do amateur radio. Then if you have to put it on hold for a while, you can do that, and then you can start again. Go ahead,
Sure.
Joe.
So, yeah, you mentioned Liechtenstein, and I've been over to Germany several times, been to Friedrichshafen. So have you attended ham radio there?
Yes, I was already sometimes at the Friedrichshafen ham radio. It's not so far away here from my KDH by car, and yeah, I'm living here in the southwestern part of Germany, near Stuttgart, at the edge of the Black Forest,
Yep.
in a small village called Haslach. And yeah, we are celebrating this year the 1250th anniversary of our village, and therefore I have also a special event call sign, DA1250 Hotel Alpha Sierra. So I'm also very often QRV with the special event call sign at the moment. And yeah, the first time I attended ham radio in Friedrichshafen was in 2019. Short before I passed my license, just 1.5 or 2 weeks before I had my exam. um, during during I operated with the educational call sign. I had a QSO with a station from Qatar with Saif Alpha 71 Alpha Mike, and he was very happy to talk to such a young person. I was at this time, and so he wanted to know about my plans with the license and so on. And then he said, if you are going to the ham radio in June 2019, so the next ham radio, if you are there, look for me, then we can meet each other. Yes. And so we met then there at the ham radio, and I told him that I will have my exam 1.5 or 2 weeks later in July, then at the beginning of July. And so he said to me and my mom that I should inform him when I passed my license and when I got the call sign, my personal call sign. And then he made it possible to have my very first QSO with my new personal call sign with him in Qatar. And that was also something very special. And exactly this year, at the day I had my first QSO, so 6 years later, that was really a coincidence. I called CQ and he called in. Oh. And so I heard him 6 years exactly on the day later. Wow. Sure, I had contact between with him also, but yes. 6 years later on the exact day, I had again the QSO with him. And these are such moments you will always remember, and for yes. your whole life. And this is also something that's only possible in amateur radio. It's yes.
So did you by chance know DJ9ZB? Does that ring a bell? A guy by the name of Franz. He lived in Freiburg. Okay, that's okay. I had been on several D expeditions with him, and he passed away, oh gee whiz, at least 2 years ago. Really a nice fella, and he's the one that got me started to come to ham radio. Yes.
So Pia Joe's a little bit modest because he's been on over 63 D expeditions.
Wow.
He's been to Wake, he's been to Midway, and what I'm missing something, another big one.
Swains, Midway, Swains. Wake.
Wow, so that's really amazing.
He's quite a world-renowned DXer, and he's very modest about it. But you should keep his call sign handy, because if you decide that you and your mom are going to go to Aves Island or something, he'd be a good guy to talk to you about packing, and he's very methodical. He knows how to put it together. His wife did a lot of the funding for a couple of those. She did all the reaching out to clubs and things to get the funding. So he's a wealth of resource. So you should hang on to his email address, because he would be more than happy to help you. So
sure.
Yeah, he's been on a lot. He's done a lot.
It's just like Bill. It's just like going on a POTA activation. D expeditions are very, very similar, because when you get there, you're not sure if you're going to have any trees, any houses. Where am I going to hang dipoles or quads, or whatever the antennas are? Yeah. But I retired from doing all that. I'm just getting too old to be out there doing all that hard work. But it was certainly a fascinating life I had doing all that.
Well, Pia, thank you, Joe.
That sounds really very interesting, Joe. And it's really amazing to how many the expeditions and countries you have been.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, you and mom and dad need to do the same thing. You three can take off and just do a D expedition. You and mom, and of course, dad can help you do all the work.
Well, Dad could carry all the stuff, helping me
Yeah,
set up, and then he could manage the generator. He could do the cooking,
yeah,
and you two could just operate, right? So I think that's the way to go.
yeah, for sure.
Well, Joe, did I leave anything out?
Uh, no, I got a couple quick questions.
Sure.
What's your favorite band?
What do you mean, Joe?
Uh, what's your favorite band to operate? What frequency?
My favorite band.
Yes.
That's a little bit difficult to say. For sure, um, 40 meters I
Yeah.
like very much. Also, 20 and 15 meters, but also other bands like 17 or 10 can be really very interesting.
Yes. Yes.
And the great thing is when you call CQ, you never know what's around the corner.
You got that right. And then my last question, do you get on the radio? You and mom get on the radio every day?
Yeah, we try to get on the radio as often as possible, and it's always a lot of fun, and we enjoy to talk to the other stations and to hearing our friends and so on.
Sure.
That's always really great.
Sure.
And
Sure.
also now with the special event call sign, I and also my mom are often QRV, so
Yes.
So
Very interesting.
have you
Bill,
ever worked 60 meters?
ah, a little bit, but not so much.
Yeah, Joe's a big 60-meter
I'm a
advocate,
big,
so
yeah. I like 60 meters. I've been on it since the beginning. Well, the Europeans had it before the US guys, but we got permission in 2003. And I've been on pretty much every day since then. Yeah, I like 60 meters. Well, Bill, I think you pretty well covered everything
well,
according to our notes.
Pia, do you have any comments for those checking in that say, I think I can do what she does, and maybe they're young and they're listening, and what encouragement would you leave them with?
Yeah, what I would say is the most important thing: have fun, uh, enjoy amateur radio, and try things out, and you will be surprised what 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 things will be possible, and yeah,
You know, we
just try it and see what will happen, because sometimes it creates then unique and very special moments that you will remember always for the rest of your life. And I think things you can learn and experience in amateur radio are things you learn and experience also for life.
Sure.
well said.
Bill, tell her about Dayton real quick. Maybe her and mom and dad would be interested in coming to Dayton.
Yeah, so we have the Dayton Ham Fest every May over here, and it's I guess the world's largest gathering of hams, and we have on Friday night our club hosts the DX dinner, and it's about 420 DXers all having dinner with a keynote speaker and prizes and stuff. And then on Saturday, for about 3 hours, we have the DX Forum, and we have various speakers on various topics. So, if you ever decide before I go to university, I need to get out and get to the States, you need to come over in May and let us know. And on Thursday night, there's a big CWOPs dinner. So there would be
Yeah,
plenty for you to do if you came over, that's for sure.
yeah,
There's something you've said a couple times that I think people are losing the habit of, and that's calling CQ. Several times you've said, I called CQ and this person came back to me. And I have to say, I'll come down, in the evening, and there's always something on FT8, but sometimes the CW bands are just dead. So I have found if I just call a couple of CQs, then there's people listening and they'll come back to you. But a lot of folks just don't want to call CQ. And I kind of don't understand that. To me, it's a little like fishing. You go to the lake and you don't cast, you're not going to catch anything. So and I've heard you say several times, well, I did this, I called CQ, and that's terrific. It's a great habit, and I really wish more people would do it. So hats off to you for that.
Yeah, that's true, Bill. Calling CQ is always a big surprise. You don't know who will answer if you have no scat, but that's always a lot of fun. It A good friend can call in a person you don't know yet, or a rare DX station. So that's really great. And yeah, with amateur radio, the whole world is only one CQ away.
There you go.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good marketing line, Joe.
Yes, yes, perfect. Yeah.
Well, Pia, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time. You've been patient in getting this scheduled, and we appreciate that as well.
Yes.
And if we can be of any service or any favors for you or whatever, let us know. We'll be happy to work with you, and we may check in with you next year just to see how things are going and get you on again. So we'd like to do that.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bill and Joe. That's very kind of you. And thanks also for the invitation to your great podcast. I'm very happy to be a part of it. And I really appreciated the conversation with you. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you very much. And hello to your
Thank you.
mom
It's
and
been
dad
very
and your uncle.
enjoyable.
Yeah, don't forget your uncle.
Yeah, I will say greetings from both of you to all.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
Right.
very, very much. Have a great day.
Have a great
Yeah.
day. 7-3s.
Yeah.
Have a great day too, both of you.
Okay.
73.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, I hope you were as inspired as I was. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the DX Mentor. I would like to thank our sponsors, ICOM America, the Daily DX, DX Engineering, and the Southwest Ohio DX Association. You won't find anyone more committed to DX than these sponsors. I would also like to thank my guests today, Pia, DL7PIA, and Joe, W8GEX. I would love to have your feedback, answer your questions, and provide help with any DX or amateur radio issues that you may have. If you need clarification on something or you just have a question, email me at thedxmentor@gmail.com. I would especially like to thank you, our listeners and viewers. Without you, there would be no reason to do this. Please drop me a line if you have achieved an all-time new one, receive recognition, or have a DX event that you would like us to mention. We would be happy to do that. If you're enjoying these DX Mentor episodes, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to follow us to get updates on future YouTube and podcast episodes, as well as DX events and DXpeditions, join the DX Mentor Facebook group. 7-3 for this episode. Thanks to my XYL Karen for her love and support. I hope to see you in the pile-ups.